And welcome to another episode of DIOTALK. I'm Dio. Let's talk. My guest of the evening has an amazing voice. He's a singer, songwriter, producer, engineer. He does it all when it comes to music. Ladies and gentlemen, okay, welcome to Kenny J. Welcome to the show, man. How are you?
Salute, man. I appreciate you getting me on. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it.
Man, it's an honor having you here, man. I know I told you this before the show, but I'm gonna say it again. When I first heard your voice, you reminded me of Brian McKnight.
Mm,
And I was like, man, he got nothing on you.
man,
I mean, I could hear your soul, you know?
thank you so much. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. I would say that, man. I'm a humble guy, so that's a great comparison, and I'm humble. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
No, no, man. Thank you for
Yeah.
for having that blessing and sharing it with the world. I know you a couple of months ago or a month ago, you
Mm,
dropped a brand new single called
mm,
well, I'll let you share for everybody
yeah,
to know.
yeah. You're a woman. That I dropped that on March 8th on International Women's Day. It wasn't planned that. It just kind of it was the song, and I just kind of said, "Oh man," my PR person said, "Yeah, it's Women's Empowerment Day." I was like, "Oh man, I didn't even know that." So that song was just inspired by me wanting to be a part of positive energy.
Mhm.
Women sometimes aren't given a fair shake, to
Yeah.
say the least. And I wanted to be a part of the solution. Sometimes men, we don't appreciate them like we should. And for
Mm.
me, it
I
was
hear
like
that.
let me let me be a part of just trying to encourage them and letting them know they're doing a phenomenal job. I say all the time, they bear our children.
Yes.
They're responsible for kind of infiltrating the earth with human life, and that's a gift by itself, and they should be honored. They should know they're powerful. They should know they're divine. They're wonderful. The feminine fragrance that they place on this earth is just so phenomenal. So I'm appreciative of them, and I had to kind of put my 2 cents in it. So that's what it
No,
was
I
about.
hear that, man. I hear that.
Yeah,
Thank you for that, especially right
yeah.
now in the world, and we're like, there's an imbalance, and where now men are
Mm,
getting their platform and talk about what they're gone through,
mm,
and women are listening, but it's like, what about those that are actually good, men and women?
mm,
So,
yeah.
I think timing was great.
Mm,
You making that song and just using those powerful words because the hook
mm,
it's a powerful word. You're a woman.
yeah.
You're an
You're
amazing
a
woman,
woman.
you know?
You're a
So
woman.
like, man, thank you for that, first of all.
I appreciate it. It's so important that so many negative things are placed in the atmosphere, and for some strange reason, the negative always supersedes the positive.
Yeah.
For some strange reason, I don't know why that is, but we have to be, good agents of change on this earth, and making sure that it just not be something the negative. I mean, that be
Yeah.
something that takes control. So anybody out there that just have the positive essence, just still put it out. I know it's a lot of negativity going on, just
Hmm.
still put it out, still put it out. Don't let anything stop you from putting out that positive. For me, I'm a humble, enjoyable guy. I like to have a laugh, like to have fun, and like to have positive energy around me. So smiling and waking up in the morning, just enjoying the day, blessed to be alive, and so on and so forth. So that's just the thing for me. So yeah,
I'm into that. I totally agree, man. I couldn't have said it better.
yeah.
Um, so like, talk to me about like your style. Like when I reference you with Brian McKnight because like
Mm,
you give me that old school R&B that love,
mm,
that what's need, Like I
yeah.
remember,
Go ahead.
yeah, I remember first time like you made me relive that first time I saw that video of Brian McKnight walking. I think it's like a plane crash or something like that.
Mm, mm, mm.
Like talk to me a little about what is it that you do because it's so amazing.
Yeah, I'm a singer songwriter producer. I play a myriad of a bunch of different instruments, and if I don't know how to play it, I don't have a problem with trying to figure out how to play it. So
Mm,
there's so many different music styles that I enjoy: gospel, R&B, hip hop, Latin, jazz, country, uh, and Latin, the list goes on and on. I just enjoy, that sort of music. And it's not a particular genre I enjoy. I enjoy sound and anything that's gonna, help me go along the day. great sound. If the music sounds good, I love it. That's where I'm from.
I hear
So
that.
my sound comes from just the love of sound and all the different genres that I enjoy playing and listening to. I was born kind of, got my chops, so to speak, if you will, in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
And that nostalgia, it's just nothing, it's just kind of nothing like it. You know what I mean? And I know the folks that before me are going to say the sounds of the 70s and the 60s and all that stuff was popping. But for me, the 90s for me is was very important. Nowadays, they have a sound, which is fine. I get it, I understand. But for me, the love, where life is kind of created. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Love
Mm-hmm.
song, Brian McKnight, just to name a few. They was responsible for, a lot of babies in this world.
Yeah.
And I don't necessarily want to be a part of it, but I'm gonna be a part of it if you will.
Yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
know. So yeah, yeah.
No, it's an amazing sound. I feel like
Mhm.
we need that sound. Like music tends to evolve, right? Like this,
Yes,
especially when it
I agree.
comes to R&B, people say it's dead. No, I think it's just evolving. We haven't found because I love R&B. Like
Right. Absolutely.
I'll sit there and play UFC listening to R&B. Like I'm weird like
Yes.
that, you know? Um,
Absolutely.
but I feel like we need that because what's being productive and pushed out there is like it has to be, something more than I
For
don't
feel good.
yeah,
It has
like
to have a meaning behind it. R&B
yeah.
sometimes has such a meaning behind it, and it's positive. It's in the 90s, just be honest, most of us just tried to be players
Yeah.
and just have a bunch of different women and all that sort of stuff. But at some point, even that gets a little old, man. At some
Mm-hmm.
point when life evolves, you got to be mature. You got to kind of be
Yes.
calm and kind of,
Yes.
like you said, evolve into another version of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And 90s in those times, as now, I just have to be, that person that kind of, shakes up the pie a
Yeah.
little bit and
Yeah.
just kind
Yeah.
of get it popping. So like, nothing to say bad about the music to these days, but it was something to be said about being different in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? It's something to be said about doing something that nobody else is doing.
Yeah.
There's something to be said about the sound, your sound. Your sound is unique to who you are. You couldn't be caught sounding like anybody else.
Yeah.
You know Brian McKnight when you hear him.
Mm-hmm.
You know Jodeci when you hear him. You know a Timbaland beat. You know a Teddy Riley beat. Those stamps, it's a different from the day. You don't know what's going on today
Yeah.
nowadays. Not to compare, but it's
Yeah. Yeah.
just a different day, different era.
I think, hearing what you're saying, it I think this era, what's like the record labels have almost stolen the identity, and where
Hmm.
you have like big major producers now working for a label, and there's not a spotlight on it,
Hmm.
right? So there's
Yeah.
just we just have people, I'm paying you, produce. And it's like one of the greatest, Ryan Leslie. I'm not sure
Hmm.
if you know, right?
Yes.
So he he put out this album, like I was very young, but it was
Right.
like a very mature hip hop. And when I
Hmm.
started, that's when like YouTube started developing, and I started
Hmm.
like diving into it. Like
Yeah.
this man is a genius,
Right.
right?
Absolutely.
But you don't know about him because he's a I don't know now, but back then a Puffy artist, and
Hmm.
where the only thing you knew is Bad Boys, Puffy, but the
Hmm.
like Red Cafe, who was a rapper. I
Hmm.
never knew him because he was writing for this
Hmm.
company. So
Hmm.
like it's almost like the identity, because it's a
Hmm.
job that's paying well and will make you a millionaire, that it
Yeah.
disappears your identity and there's only
Right.
this.
Yeah. I'll say it this way. Uh, the bigger scheme of music, it seems like it's a part of some bigger scheme. You know what I mean? Why isn't the music that's positive being pushed a lot more?
Hmm.
Why is it just the ratchetness of music? Why is the thing that's kind of shedding light on more? And I agree with you. Some artists and some engineers, some even producers, kind of just try to get the check, and I get it. I understand, but at some way, shape, or form, you have to decide whether how that's going to look. You want to make sure that your look and however you're producing music is going to be a part of the
Hmm.
solution.
Hmm.
And music today, although it has an agenda, and I'm not sure if it's all positive. You know what I mean? At
Yeah.
some point, you know, some of the subject matters that we even talk about is a little like, why are we talking about that? Like,
Yeah.
why exactly is that what it is? And I think we have to, as we talked earlier, is just we have to be agents of change. We have to be agents of making sure that whatever we put our hands on, that it's going to have some essence of positivity. So
Yeah.
I get it, and it's got to be a part of some bigger scheme to just keep some sort of finger on something. I don't know. I couldn't tell you what, but I hope
No.
it gets better. And I
Yeah.
just wanted to be a part of making everything positive. I know everything can't be positive. Of course,
Yeah.
you want some of
Yeah.
your ratchetness. You want some of your ratchetness.
I
It's
mean, it's
cool.
only, but that's
Yeah,
fun. But it's like
yeah.
there's time for everything. You got to time that right. Like
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
it's
Very
it's
true.
you have to be like I'm like okay, so like I grew up in Puerto Rico in the country.
Hmm.
You
Yeah.
know, like I grew up with like in the radio was a lot of like love Spanish love
Hmm.
songs, radio, like radio pop music. But back then it
Hmm.
was like the writing, you could see the writing of the music
Hmm.
very
Hmm.
different. Like the songs
Yes.
meant something, right?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
like I grew up with that, and we're like nowadays when I'm in the car with my wife's daughter, and like I'm looked at like I'm like I'm so old school because I listen
Yeah.
to music. I need to
Yeah.
hear music, right? And this
Yeah.
is like, and I go again. This is where like your song,
Mm.
the one you just released got to me is
Yeah.
because the music makes me think and analyze what I'm feeling, and
Mm.
that helps me. I don't know, like people saying level up
Hmm. Hmm.
emotionally.
Hmm.
You know, it shares some wisdom. It help. I can't even say this. It
Hmm.
helps me
Hmm.
digest that feeling that's stuck in you and
Hmm.
move forward.
Yeah. I
Like
get it.
like your voice, like you have this powerful voice, and we're like it feeds the soul.
I appreciate it.
You know.
It has to, it goes back to what your agenda is. You know, it goes back to wanting to be a pro. I mean, sometimes men have problems expressing that. You know what I mean? Expressing that feeling. You know, maybe because they didn't have a a support system coming up that
Mm-hmm.
didn't kind of perpetuate that thing. But um, artists have to kind of tap into what that thing is. And if you're gifted with a certain art, you know, whether it be painting or whether it be singing,
Mm-hmm.
mixing, whatever the case it may be, it has to be something that you give that's going to make somebody kind of think like, wow, that's really good. So your art should even provide a level of change for somebody that
Mm-hmm.
hears it.
Yeah.
So, and I that's all of my prayer is, you know, when I'm putting any music out, you know, most of the time I'm not necessarily following the trends. I'm not following what everybody else is doing. Kind of in my own little thing. I remember back in the day coming up, it was me and another producer. We were talking about, you know, production, and what we didn't want to do is listen to the radio and try to mimic what everybody else was doing,
Mm.
what everybody else was doing. So what we did was when we was creating that particular project, we wouldn't listen to the radio. We would just turn it off and let our soul speak to the music. And that was something that we don't do now. Nowadays, we're trying to fit into a niche market. We're trying to get somewhere where our
Mm.
music can even be played, but it still loses the essence of what it's supposed to be designed for in the first place. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I think we have to go back to, you know, how it really started and how we really doing it. So allow that art to be something that's changing. If we're gifted as artists, um, to be of this world and to use our gifts and our talents,
Mm-hmm.
we have to be, gifted enough to put it out in the world and have some change go on. So that is all I do. I'm not trying to
Mm.
be like anybody else. I'm just utilizing the gift that I have to just spread love through the world.
I hear that, bro.
Yeah.
What's your creating your creating process? Like, how is
Hmm.
it for you? Like, is it like you got this idea, or you hear this
Hmm.
sound that keeps ringing in your head, or
Hmm.
you know, this is beat that's inside you.
Hmm.
You gotta get like, how is it that for you?
Yeah, it varies sometimes. You know, sometimes it's acoustic driven, meaning, you know, I'll go into piano, acoustic piano, and just play the piano a while. So that's a part of my morning thing. So I get up in the morning, I'll get what I got to get done out, and then, you know, I'm coming downstairs to kind of hit the acoustic
Hmm.
piano and just play around. Sometimes something will come out of that, and then I'll come into the studio and do what I have to do in the studio. But it's all different things. Sometimes it's a situation, it's a quote, it's an emotion, It's how I'm feeling that day. I can look outside and see what's going on. I can see some kids playing in the park, and I can see an argument. I can go to the grocery store and see something going on in the grocery store,
Mm.
kind of get a perspective out of that. So it varies. It could be beat driven, it could be rhythm driven, it could be melodic driven, it could be situations driven, how I'm feeling, whatever. It varies on whatever it is. Yeah, this right here, this song, You're a Woman, was just driven out of, I lost my wife June 2023,
Oh, I'm sorry for your loss,
last
brother.
year. Thanks so much. And I wanted to do something, not necessarily for her, because I did something for her already in 2021, with a song called My Wife. And it was just kind of an homage to, her, just to letting her know that, she's beautiful and all of that sort of stuff.
Hmm.
Um, Your Woman, I kind of wanted to be a part of it. I just wanted to be, it kind of came out of nowhere. Honest. I was just in the
Hmm.
studio one day and I was just creating, and most times it starts from a melody. This time it started from just You're a Woman. It didn't
Mm.
start from anything else. It just started from You're a Woman. And I wanted to make it so it's like an anthem sort of thing. So it sticks out a lot. So it could
Proud
be
and
something,
loud. Proud and
yeah,
loud.
yeah. So it can be something like that. So when I started writing it, it came pretty good. It came pretty quick. And sometimes it happens that way, sometimes it doesn't. Because I was kind of like knew exactly what I wanted to do. It was easier than I thought it was. And you kind of have so many,
Yeah.
I got so many takes, so many differences, so many lines, so many ways I wanted to express myself. And then I just said, yo, and it was gonna be a long song, but I was like, yeah, I gotta kind of
Mm.
needed to fit in a three
Yeah.
minute section. And I just did it. And here you have it. So
Was 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 music a big component of helping you grieve your emotions and
mm, absolutely. I say all the time, music is my peace, my serenity. That's where if I'm angry, that's gonna calm me down. If I'm like not feeling good, that's gonna kind of get me feeling better. If like the grieving process was easier because of music, you know what I mean? Having that gift of music and creating and all of that sort of stuff, I took probably around 6 months off, um, and I did music. I didn't really do anything else. That was my therapy. Of course, you go to your therapy.
yeah.
You get your therapy with traditional therapy, and that helps and all of that sort of stuff. But other than that, that was it. So I didn't spend too much time out and um, kind of trying to find ways to kind of grieve outside. I kind of inner looked in for that inner peace that I can find, and it worked. It was something that helped me to process through it all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God bless for that. God bless for music,
Yeah.
man.
Thank you.
I
I
wish
appreciate it. Yeah.
uh many men in your circumstances could use that
Yeah.
tool to help
Mhm.
get that out there. I know for me, in my hardship as man coming an adult, being a father,
Mm,
listen to certain songs that help me connects to me, right?
mhm,
Because that's the thing about men sometimes that we don't have the
mhm,
words to
mhm.
authenticate and say what we're feeling,
Right,
you know?
right, right. Yeah, yeah. I'm going to say this on your podcast if you don't mind. Men, if you're feeling like that, please, for sure, it is okay to go speak to somebody. It's okay to let your
Yes.
guard down. It's okay to have a conversation. You know, Sometimes within a simple conversation, you can get so many answers.
Yes.
Don't think that you're the only one going through whatever that you're going through. You know what I mean? Every man should have a safe place to kind of unwind and download, whatever that is. Some people play the video games, whatever that is. But you do still need to have a conversation with somebody. So take that
Yes.
time, speak to someone that you really respect. That's not going to take your grieving or your issue for granted, like it's not a big deal. Put quality friends around you. If they ain't quality, let them roll out. I'm serious about that. If you got five good friends, that's good. You know what I mean? But make sure you take your time, make sure you stop, and make sure you get out, you communicate what those issues are, because you do want healing. You know what I mean? You do want to get past it, and you do want to live a better for your family, for your kids, and for yourself. So take that time. So I
There
appreciate
you
that. Thanks
go.
for letting me get that out.
No, no, you're
Yeah,
preaching to the choir. That's
yeah,
We need more gentlemen like yourself to say those things
yeah. It's
and
okay.
say and connect the
Mhm,
dots because a lot of listen, we there are good men out there like yourself,
mhm,
and I could just see it that we
mhm.
go through a lot and we don't. It's hard to talk to.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
hard to confide. It's hard to
Yeah.
be vulnerable and say I'm scared.
Yeah. That's why you get those quality friends, man. You know the
Mm-hmm.
friends that's gonna take you for granted. You know the friends that's gonna make it out of a joke. You know those friends that's so I'm not saying stay away from them, but stay away from them when it comes time to you to
Yeah.
unwind and you're trying to get some clarity about your situation. You don't want to live in a situation or in a mindset where you can't communicate, like you're fuzzy in your thinking, you don't understand, your journey is difficult and hard. Nah. You want healing. So find whatever place that is. If there's an individual around you that's not helping you get to that healing,
Close
you know,
that
cut
door. Close that
close it.
door. Yeah.
Absolutely. Don't feel bad, close it and walk the heck away like it ain't no big deal and go get your healing, man. That's all.
Yeah.
I'm serious about that. It's
I'm
no
into
joke
that.
out here. We hold a lot as men. Let's just be clear and be honest. We have a whole lot of stuff on our shoulders, and we can't use that as a conduit to treat our women crazy, because sometimes that's what comes out of it.
Mm-hmm.
We got to be healed before we can heal anybody else, and that person that's connected to us got to be healed too. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? And it's just important. We got to be there. I ain't trying to make this a sappy conversation, but it's just necessary that
No,
men
it's
know,
very important. It's very
yeah, they can
important. It's
go and get
very
some healing.
important. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure.
Do you remember the first time you sat down and wrote a song?
Yeah, I'm
And
I'm
how
asked that all I'm asked that all the time, and I have okay. My first song was I can't remember what it was. I don't even think it was a. I think it was like a rap. I don't even really think it was a song, because
spitting
I really
bars?
didn't think I was okay. So when I was in high school, I really wasn't that good in high
Mhm.
school, right?
Okay,
So
so let me ask you this. Do you remember the
yeah,
first song you produced, you made, you wrote, and you
hmm
completed? And complete is the
completed
important
it.
part because
Hmm.
not everyone completes it.
Yeah, that song was called. It was a gospel song. I can't remember what the name of it was, but I got it around here somewhere. So I do remember what that song was. And I used to not be a writer. Let's just be honest. So
Mm,
most of the time back in the day, if I was to do that, like coming up, most of the time I was do instrumentals. Like, most of the time it was just like instrumentals with a bunch of soloing on it.
yeah.
So it was never anything structured like a song. So my first song was a gospel song that I wrote. And I completed that song from front to top to bottom. I can probably find it here, so I can't remember what the name of it was, but I definitely was the gospel song. So yeah.
Do you often find yourself listening to old tracks you made when you first started and put like comparing them to the music you do now?
Absolutely. It's absolutely funny. It's absolutely funny. And I'm like, so I got so many so I did a couple of gospel albums before I started doing R&B.
Hmm.
And most of the time those albums were contemporary gospel. So it wasn't straight, it's like Shirley Caesar gospel. It wasn't hardcore like that. It had the R&B vibe to it. So it was cool and chill. And I listened to them, I was like, man, I need to do that whole thing over. Like, so I got two albums right now that I need to do all of them over,
Mm.
because most of that stuff is like, oh, I don't know why I did that. The levels were off. It was just horrible. It's
But it takes like you have to make those like
yeah,
because when you look at them now, it's like, damn, it's an error,
yeah. It's
it's a
like,
mistake.
oh
But you
man,
gotta, you gotta, you gotta make those things because if not, how would you learn?
yeah. I mean, mistakes is part of learning. That's kind of how you evolve and get better. You mature if you make
Hmm.
mistakes.
You
One
you would
if
never, you would
yeah,
never know how to perfect your craft
yeah,
unless you try and analyze and keep trying to analyze again.
yeah. Even like right now, I'm preparing for a show that I got coming up, and
Nice.
and so I'm going through my tracks, and so my tracks show tracks are going to be different than studio tracks that you put out on the
Yeah.
record. You know what I mean? So those tracks has got to be interesting and intricate. It's got to be different things going on in it just to kind of keep it rocking. It can't be
Yeah,
the
yeah,
same
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
So, and I'm looking like I got to go through all of this, and I'm like, it's got to be so. Yes, the process is different, but I enjoy it all still. I mean, it's just something I'm listening to them now. I'm like, oh my God, this is so you got to put 808s, you got to put subs down.
Mm.
You got a different
Technology, right?
it's a different thing. So I'm grateful for even having the knowledge and the understanding of what to do. You cannot get out there and take the vocals off of your track that you have on the record that everybody hears and think that that's gonna rock. It's not gonna do good, my man. It's not gonna work. You got to kind of go
Mm.
back into the lab, You gotta fatten up some stuff. You gotta throw some volumes up here and there and kind of make it ride for you. Because if you don't, and sometimes you even got to speed it up. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah,
the
yeah.
vibe when you're in a big room like that, the energy has got to be on a million. So
Mhm.
it's fun. It's fun. I enjoy it all. Trust me, I do. So yeah,
That's dope. As long as you love it.
yeah.
As long as like it's your obsession. As long as you
Hmm.
love it and gives you happiness,
Yes.
that all that matters.
Yeah. Yeah.
How long you been doing this, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, actually, doing music. I mean, since I was like 5 years old. I mean, this sort of thing, man. I've been doing music for a long time,
Mm.
really long time. I mean, I enjoy. I don't know if I do anything else. I mean, of course, you got your other stuff you do, but
Hmm.
music.
Hmm.
First thing you think about when you wake up is music. That's where you need to be.
Mm.
That's where I need to be. So music. Yeah, I've
See,
been doing it for a long time.
that's so I love that what you're saying. That's so amazing because somebody right there, where your statement right there,
Hmm.
you made it. Some
Hmm.
people will confuse that and we're like, nah, until I get signed to a record label.
Oh
But
no.
like, nah, like you're
Uh,
able to do it and continue to do it.
yeah.
You made it.
Yeah,
That's
you
the
have
whole.
to.
Hmm.
Yeah, you have to be sure that you're doing it for the right reasons. I am not doing this for a record deal.
Mm. Preach,
Sorry. I'm so sorry
preach.
if people do what they do for any other reason. If a record deal's just so happen to come while I'm doing what I'm doing, that's fine. But my main goal is not necessarily to be doing this for no record deal.
Yeah,
I'm doing it to spread the music of love and positivity, and I'm doing what I love to do. And that's just what it is for me. It's important that you do it for the right reasons, and sometimes we do it for the wrong reasons, and we get the opportunity to be whatever we're gonna be. We'll keep doing it for the wrong reasons to kind of stay where we are. So I'm not doing it for that. So if a record deal never come, I'm gonna still be putting this out and speaking to you
no, hey, that's and
on
that's
your
and what's
podcast.
crazy is that
Yeah.
more artists like yourself are getting more wiser, and we're like, nah, I'll stay
Hmm.
independent. Like all you
Hmm.
really do, like I say it all the time on the show because I've had artists on the show, and we always end up talking about that because it's so important
Hmm.
to
Hmm.
be financial educated, but also
Hmm.
industry educated.
Absolutely.
And we also have to like learn through others' mistakes.
Hmm.
Not, we can't always learn through what we fail at, right? So like I
Hmm.
tell people all the time, all you have to do is you get a loan and go on tour, manage your money, go on tour.
I'm telling you, if you don't, you have to be able to invest in yourself. Do we even see what's happening to the major record labels right
Mm.
now?
I think there's only
Do
like
we do we
three
see? I
major.
mean, all you need if you can get, I'm going to go like if you can get 250, maybe even 300 consistent supporters,
Mm.
you can sustain your life. If you can get that many supporters in your corner in your life, you'll be able to sustain your life as an engine or as an artist.
Yes.
If you could do that, if you could as an artist kind of have people that support you, if all you need is about 200-300 of them, I'm telling you, consistent ones that's going to watch out for you. Do but what this is what we do have to do as artists. We have to keep um the ideas. We have to keep the music going. We have to kind of continue to do stuff like you said, go put a show on yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So I got something I'm planning, kind of, being the first partakers of what you're supposed to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
You're supposed to be, excuse me, you're supposed to be out here riding and promoting yourself. Like the record labels is the easiest thing in the world you could do. Because once you get signed, they give you that advance money. That's probably all the money you're gonna get.
Yeah. And
You
it's
know what I
like
mean?
it's like hustling. They give you that money, you gotta flip it.
Oh yeah. If
You
you
gotta
don't,
flip it.
you better turn it into something.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you don't, because that's more than likely all the money that you're gonna get for that particular album, for that
Mm-hmm.
particular record. So
Especially if you don't go out there and you don't make noise.
yeah.
I seen a lot of artists and we're like they reach a certain point of success that
Hmm.
instead of taking that money and making the
Hmm.
record, they'll record the record, but they'll like go on this hiatus and where they disappear, right? And
Yeah.
take that money, invest it for themselves, and
Hmm.
then because at the end of the day, like the record label owns your master, owns the rights to your album.
Right.
And
Right.
says, here's the album. They don't
Hmm.
play it he doesn't play it, right? Because if you play it, that means you're making the company money, not yourself.
Exactly.
It's like, here, thank you, and they're out, and then they start
Exactly.
putting out their own music.
Please be smart. If you get in that advanced money, know that that advanced money is a loan. That ain't money that you ain't got to pay back. That money is going to be based off of however many records you sell.
Mm,
So if they give you $1 million, right, that record that you create has got to make $1 million back to them.
hmm
If it doesn't make money back for them, uh, that's all you're gonna get, and they're gonna hold you under that record contract until they get their $1 million back. If they do not get their $1 million back, they either sign you to a record label hoping to kind of recoup some of that money back, and that's all the money that you're gonna get. So you could do a show, you can do anything that you want. Sometimes if you're kind of caught up in the 360 deal, they're gonna even take a percentage of your show money. So you got to be smart. You got to know the business. If you do not know the business, please make sure you go somewhere and pick up a book and read,
mm,
or speak to somebody that understands what this thing is about. So as they say, they see, I hear it all the time on social media. It is a music business. It's just not about music. It's a music business. And trust me, they're going to treat it like a business.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. You're trying to be an artist, because then what you do is an art, but there's everything. It's
Hmm.
an upside to that. Everything
It is.
like I tell people that um are contemplating to go to college. Just go to college and
Hmm.
get and if you know nothing what to study, business administration.
Oh, please. If I was to do it over,
Mm-hmm.
I would do two things: study business. Number one, study money first. Number one,
Mm-hmm.
study number two, study business. Without a doubt, if you can learn those two, man, please. If you know how money really worked,
Mm-hmm.
you'll change the way you spend it.
Yeah. And the crazy thing is like it doesn't matter what business you're in,
Hmm.
the money side is still the same for everything.
It's still the same. Still,
Inventory,
still the same.
supply and
Still,
demand, like it's the
yeah,
same thing.
yeah, same thing. You got to get on it. I'm saying you better, for no disrespect, but make sure that you go get some information, some knowledge, wisdom, and understanding when it comes to business. Because if you're not, they're gonna take advantage of you.
Mm.
Especially if you're talented and you have something that they can benefit off of, they're gonna definitely take care of you. I mean, take advantage of you. So
Yeah.
get
Especially
get
like
some, learn something.
yeah, especially like if you're like and it's they put you in this predicament and we're like you if you grew up in a rough, difficult
Hmm.
environment
Hmm.
and they see you they'll study you because that's what they do. This is where they
Hmm.
send people was it A&R they used to call it?
A&Rs, yeah,
They
A&Rs.
used to go scouting. They used
Hmm.
to go scouting. The first thing they'll do is like his followings. It's different now
That's right.
because now you got social media. They'll judge you
Yeah,
by your following on
yeah,
social media. So it's
right,
easy to manage your popularity.
right.
But back then, go search, see what he's doing. See if he's
Hmm.
big. See how many people he connect with.
Let me
And
tell you.
because you're embodying this, this lifestyle,
Yeah.
they offer you and you see that gold, he's like, "Oh crap, I made it." You
Well,
know?
it's back in the day, they used to be on the corner doing their thing. Let me help you.
Mm-hmm.
Don't think that they wasn't paying attention to what was happening and going on. If you're a popular cat and you have a skill at rapping, look at some of the most successful rappers right now. I'm not gonna mention any names. Just look at them.
Mm-hmm.
Look at where they came from. Look at how they got their customer service tactics from. Look at what they've been doing in their lifetime, and look at what they're doing now. You know what I mean? Most times it's a hustle. They understand the concept of hustling, and they get out there and hustle, just like they do for the record labels. They hustle.
Mm-hmm.
So I ain't gonna put you out too much on game. Just pay attention to what's around you. Just pay attention, to what's around you, and look at how some of these people get successful, and you'll see. You'll see.
There you go.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you because I know you
Yeah.
mentioned gospel music.
Hmm.
Is there a different process when it comes to writing and making a gospel song than a
Hmm.
regular, R&B or hip hop or
Hmm.
whatever? Because you're like what is that word? Versatile.
Hmm.
That's not really that's why you do music.
Hmm.
Like is it
Right.
a different system, a different way to do
Hmm.
gospel?
Well, no, not really. The only thing that's different is the subject matter. So the
Mm,
same way you will approach doing R&B or hip hop or whatever, it's just the subject matter, whatever you're talking about. Some stuff I can write a gospel song and can flip it four and five different times R&B. I can flip it to country. I can flip it to Latin.
Mm,
It's just the subject matter. It's not necessarily anything different. You'll get your melody. All that stuff is the same. But as far as the subject matter, that's the only thing that's going to change. Only thing.
mm.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite? Because you're religious. You're religious. You're a spiritual
Hmm.
person.
Hmm.
You can tell when you speak. You can tell in your music.
Hmm.
Uh, is there any a favorite verse that you constantly play in your head that you preach
Hmm.
on that when you
Hmm.
hear it, when you say it, it gives you energy, it gives you life?
Without God, there's nothing possible without God.
Mm, I hear that.
Yeah, and yeah. I'm a religious guy in the sense. I'm a believer in Jesus Christ. More or less not a Christianity and all that sort of stuff. Everybody has their different things, but
Yeah.
I'm I love Christ, and but I am of the mindset that I don't have a problem having a conversation with anybody. I don't care if you're Jewish. I don't care if you're Muslim. I don't care. I don't care what that is. So
Hmm.
I'm not judging anybody on what religion they speak of. We live in America. We have the freedom to serve and have some whoever whatever religion we want to be.
Yeah.
So I am a believer in Jesus Christ, but that doesn't shut me off from having a conversation from anybody. I don't care who you're from. My love for people and my love for just humanity just causes me to kind of have to want to spread a little longer or a little wider than just my Christian faith.
Mm,
Sometimes in Christianity, I don't mean to preach, but sometimes in Christianity, we shut ourselves off to just Christians,
mm.
and anybody outside of that, it becomes more of a, well, we better than y'all, and it's not a it,
Competition.
yeah, it's not a competition. It's more or less, I am of the mindset that, I don't care who you are, I can still have a conversation with you. I don't care if less fortunate than I am. I don't care if a lot fortunate than I am. I don't care anything about that. I don't care what you're black, white, yellow. I don't care any of that stuff. I'm gonna still love you. Um, and I'm gonna still support you and do what I can to make sure that you're good. So
Mm.
that's just me. So I'm spreading that through my music, hopefully, and hopefully it ain't too churchy. Hopefully it's gonna provide some change and
No,
it's
I
gonna
think
shed
that's the
some
most
light.
realist thing
Yeah.
somebody with that mindset has ever said. And it's
Wow.
truth, there's no
Wow.
competition. Like
Yeah.
we 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 all the same. Look,
Hmm.
we all on the human race.
Right.
We all,
Everybody.
we all bleed. We all came from a woman.
That's
We,
right.
like,
That's right. It's
you
nothing
know,
different.
we,
Nothing different about the color of our skin.
mm-hmm.
And if we was to peel
And
back a
that shouldn't
couple of
even matter.
layers,
And that shouldn't
if
even matter.
if we can peel back a couple of layers, we'll understand and see we
Mm-hmm.
got we the same thing underneath it all. It's the same thing. We got
Mm-hmm.
different perspectives, we different cultures. We've been brought up differently. Most of us, some of us the same, some of us not. Some of us had not. But at the end of the day, we all human beings, and we should be all kind of perpetuating love in the world. That's what we
I
need to
hear
be doing.
that 100%. Do you have any albums? Like, are you working on anything that's coming out
Mm.
soon?
Yep, I'm working on a record right now for it's going to be coming out probably around July. I'm singing.
Mm.
So yeah, I got a full length R&B record coming out this
Oh,
year,
nice.
and it's gonna be really good. I'm really feeling this one. I'm really feeling it
I
because
hear that.
it takes us back to when music really had its true meaning. At least for me, this is my interpretation of it. So go with me and
On
hope
a
you like the same
journey.
thing I like on this journey. Absolutely,
Yeah.
and we're gonna spread some love. We're gonna spread some peace. We're gonna have some overcoming moments. We're gonna have some empowerment moments. So we're gonna enjoy life on this
Dude, and
road. So
that's how the album's supposed to be, right?
yeah,
It's a
yes sir.
concept of what you are going through.
Yeah, and
Some are
it
shaky.
provides some
Yeah.
healing. It's
Mm-hmm.
got to have. I went through a lot in 2023. So hopefully, if somebody else is going through, and men don't, men have this hard exterior. I ain't telling you to be soft, man. I ain't telling you to do that.
No.
But you got to know when to put it on and put it off, man. I mean, most times you ain't hard with no female, and if you are, we're gonna have to talk on the sidebar. You don't need to be like that. You know what I mean? We talk about love. We talk about positivity. We got to kind of go on those areas. So hopefully, I can provide some answers and some ways how to communicate. I ain't no player by no far stretch of the imagination. I'm just a
Mm.
guy that love music, love love, love peace and love happiness. So hopefully you'll hear it in the record for sure.
Can you give us the name of the album, or you're still in the develop?
It's gonna be called Rhythm and Love.
Mm, I love that. What's the
Yeah.
track list like?
Track list looks like it's gonna be probably around 12 songs.
Mm,
It's gonna be full. It's gonna be maybe even 15 with the interludes. You remember back in the day when you had interludes on your record?
mm-hmm,
I want to
mm-hmm.
get back to doing interludes. I love the interludes. So it's gonna look real soulful. It's gonna look real grown and sexy. It's gonna
Mature,
be mature.
mature.
Yes,
Yes.
absolutely,
And you know
absolutely.
what's crazy? We have a demographic for that. There's a
We do.
demographic, man. There's nothing worse being mature, and when you turn on the radio, like
Funny.
hearing some
Like, oh,
da. You need
look,
something. You get what I'm saying? I don't even know how to say it.
I I get it. I understand. Okay, so I like to wear t-shirts, right? So I
Mm-hmm.
go to the store. I use this as an example. I go to the store to find a t-shirt. I see a t-shirt with some weed on it, like a weed leaf, and I'm like, who the hell would wear that? Like I'm not
Why?
wearing.
Why?
I'm not like you have some dog on it, like a cartoon. I'm like, oh my god. So same thing with music. Like I can't turn on nothing on the radio to some degree. I'm sure they have, XM stations that you can probably turn to,
Mm-hmm.
whatever the case may be. But even the XM stations go back to the early 2000s and the 90s. Normally, they're not really playing stuff right now like that. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So this record is gonna kind of cater to the mature audiences, hopefully, because let's get the young folks really want to know how to talk to these females too. They want to know how to.
Oh
They
yes,
want to know.
please.
They want to know.
Yes.
So I got daughters out here. I want to teach my son, my perspective on how to kind of have a conversation with a female, and I want my daughters to understand, when they get in game, this is gonna
Mm-hmm.
be what you gonna need to be saying. You know what I
No,
mean? So
what's
yeah,
crazy is that the in my opinion is like,
mm.
and this is what they'll call you old school, right? And it's
Yeah,
like you listen, you have to have a balance, old and new.
yeah,
It
you
can't
do.
be more, right? And when like you hear them speaking a certain way or throwing games, like you're settling for less.
Yeah,
If you
yeah,
if you gotta dumb it down and say certain things,
yeah.
not good for you.
Nah, you run a game. You run a game. So we might, I got a son. He thinks he's just, you know,
Pico Suave, you know what
but
I'm saying?
yeah, Billy D. Williams. He think he's
Yeah.
something. You know what I'm saying? He's just like, but nah, his I ain't gonna tell him his swag is a little needs a little work. But you know what I mean? It's just you gotta be that example. As a dad, you gotta be that example. So, nothing can come past me when it comes to my daughters, and my son can't give me no game because I know all about it. So,
Mm.
you know what I mean? So I'm just trying to kind of help them and, be a part of their change too. Hopefully I can help.
No, I preach that, man. God bless you for that because
Yeah.
it's needed, man. I used
Mm-hmm.
to host this radio station, right?
Mm-hmm.
I used to host country music on
Mm-hmm.
this app that they were developing. I did it for like 6 months,
Mm-hmm.
and there, I like country music
Yeah.
because it gives me sometimes what I need, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's nothing more than like some R&B, man, that like really
Whew.
gets you, got dancing in the
Yeah.
rain. They need to bring back take grabbing the air. That's what I'm
Oh,
thinking, grab the air. They need to bring that
yes.
back.
Yeah. The market for that may not be booming because there's not a lot of people doing it. You know what I mean? Most people, if they
Bro, when
were
you
in the
got
industry,
rappers that want to be singers and then singers want to be rapper, like
yeah.
they intertwine one another, like
Yeah,
things don't make
it's
sense.
cool. But I could probably rap, but I'm not gonna have enough passion for that like the rappers that can rap,
Hmm.
that can
Hmm.
rap. Singers got to get back to doing what they do, sing, because women love that. We got to be a part of that, and there is a market for it, but we
Hmm.
have to put it out there. So hopefully, in my little small self, I can kind of stir the pot up a little bit and help and kind of make it seem like it's okay to kind of put some of this stuff out.
Yeah,
So
man. Like it's like I want to go out to dinner with my wife, not
yeah,
fancy night.
yeah,
And I don't want to hear no pop music.
yeah.
I don't want to hear like some soft hip hop. Like I want to hear some
Listen,
good words.
something that when you put your hand over there and hold her hand,
Yeah.
you
I
know
mean,
it's gonna be a special night.
I want the rain. Let that be
There you go.
dramatic.
Yeah.
That's
Literally, you want the
yeah.
you want
Be
the
some
the
Ray
rain.
J.
Come
One
on now.
wish. Like I need that, you know?
Yeah, and we, as me formerly being married, you married, we need something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Rekindle. It's so important to rekindle that
Yeah,
love.
it's got it. We want to stay married for a long time. We got to have that. We can't do that on what's playing today. I'm sorry. Let's
Hmm
just be honest. I'm sorry.
I agree. Like
I love
it's
y'all, but I ain't gonna be able to. I can't sustain that. Now we got to have something that's gonna make me think. I want to listen to something real sweet and lay on a pillow with her. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Something. I can't do that listening to. I ain't gonna call no songs, man. I ain't gonna call no.
Let me
Yeah,
ask you something. Is your album
yeah,
gonna have that soft talk like, yeah, girl?
yeah. That's what makes stuff happen. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it's like,
That's what makes it
yeah,
happen.
I'm just here watching you. Let me massage your feet, you know?
Amos said, "Yeah, you can't do that listening to something else. You gotta
Yeah.
you gotta you understand. So we on the same page.
Yeah,
So
because it's like my wife wants me to massage her feet. Have no problem. But
yeah,
after a long ass day, like I have my son's on the spectrum.
okay,
So some days could be, and we're always like, man, going back and
going.
forth busy,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah,
It's like I want to do, but it gets like to a point like 8:30, man. I'm like, I'm just I'm Bon Jovi just going on a prayer, and but he put something slow, get that feeling. I was like, yeah, I'm
yeah.
massaging feet. Come on,
There you
baby,
go. There you go. There you go. You gotta have some music that's gonna soothe the savage beast. We got a lot going on in the day.
hmm It's like
You know,
music nowadays is it's just sex. That's it. Just
that's
sex.
it.
Like back in
That's
then, it
it.
was like sex was this thing, and we're like,
Steps
this
to
is
it.
the ultimate level to show my affection for you.
Yeah.
Like you're not just any person.
Yeah.
You're a
Yeah. It,
special
it's
set of
it's
you know?
yeah, yeah. I
I
I
need
get
that,
it.
man. I
Yeah,
need that
I
whole
need that.
this
Don't
album
worry
has
about
to
it.
change the world, you
Oh,
know?
hopefully, man. Just help me out, man. Just share it and do whatever you got to do.
Yes,
Just kind of
yes.
making this thing go, man. Just people got to buy it. People got to, not necessarily feed into it, but listen to it and use it. It's something that's going to help. Hopefully, it's going to be a classic. Hopefully, it'll be
Mm,
something.
I
Hopefully, it's
can't
a
wait, bro.
go-to record, and I'm looking forward to it, man. It's going to be real fun. I got this song on there called "Sweet Summer Day."
Mm,
Sweet Summer Day is a song, right? It talks about, you know how, like you just were mentioning, it just kind of came to my mind. You coming off a day of work and like on the weekend, you've been busy all week. Your boys are like, yo, let's go to the bar. And you're like,
mm,
nah, bro, this is Sweet Summer Day. I got to go spend time with old girl. I
mm,
got to go chill with her for a little bit. You know what I mean?
mm-hmm,
So you like, y'all go ahead. I got to go to this summer day situation. I got to go to the park and sit on a blanket with my lady and just chill. So we can vibe then, right?
mm-hmm,
So you're gonna do that the whole weekend, right? So the end of it, I say, I'm gonna send you to work Monday morning, skipping. You know what I'm saying?
I hear that. I hear that.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm,
And so you're gonna be, going to work Monday morning singing "Sweet Summer Day," and you're gonna be skipping. So, that's what we kind of trying to go for right there. We're gonna try to
mm.
kind of help out with that. So,
That baby making, you know,
yeah,
for
yeah,
for
yeah, yeah.
grown people.
For
It's like
grown people,
grown.
there you
I,
go. You got it.
I
You
tell you,
got it.
when I first met my wife,
Mhm.
I'm Hispanic, right? We were
Yeah,
heavily Hispanic. My wife flows to that reggaeton, whatever side
yeah,
stuff,
yeah.
but like I like that, I like that reggaeton. I can't make love with some reggaeton. I was like, that's just it, But I
You
tell you this,
can't. Nobody can.
right? I put some R&B. She's never got pregnant. That's some baby making, That's a baby
It
making.
it helps, man.
Hmm So listen, brother. I wish you the
Yeah.
best of luck. I hope
Thanks
that
so
needs
much,
to,
man.
change the world. We need that. Shit, I need
Appreciate it. Thank
that.
you, man. I
I need
appreciate
that.
it. I
Last
appreciate it.
question before we go. Like, do you have any
Yeah.
special features in the album that we can wait to anticipate?
Well, I got a feature with I can't remember his name. He go by so many. I got a couple of features that'll be good. I do have a rapper that's gonna kind of rap and so then back in the
Mm,
day we kind of mixed the R&B and the rap.
nice.
It's got a good vibe to it. It's got a good vibe. It's not necessarily a rap, but it's gonna kind of put everything together. Sometimes songs need another level or something.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
sometimes I used to love the R&B rap, the Mary J. Blige,
Method Man,
method. Yeah, yeah,
like
that vibe. Yeah,
Neo and
yeah,
Fabulous. Like, yeah,
yes,
that
yes.
vibe. Yeah.
Is that. So I used to love that, and I hated that it went away somewhere. But I'm hopefully can kind of nail this one. So we got a couple things popping on this, so it's gonna be really, really good. So look forward to it. It's gonna bless your heart, as I say. It's gonna bless your heart.
It's gonna be a hot summer, hot summer.
It's gonna be a
Heard?
hot, sweet summer, boy. It's gonna be popping. Sure.
Yo, it's been an honor speaking with you. I had so much fun, Kenny, man.
Thanks so much, man, for sure.
Before we go, please tell the people where they can find you, find your albums, anything.
Yeah. You can find the albums on any digital platform that's available. I got Facebook at Kenny J. I got Facebook at Kenny J Wilkins. I got Instagram at Kenny Wilkins. I have TikTok at Kenny J Wilkins with the number 7 there. And I got a website, kennyjmusic.com.
Boom. Make sure you go support. Make sure you follow him. Wait for that brand new album. I'm waiting for it. You know, we need that. But while you're waiting for it, make sure you follow him and support him. Give him a shout out. Share his content. It's very important to support these amazing artists, especially when they're doing everything independent. Right. They need that support. Make sure you go follow me on Instagram, Mr.Juice5Retain. Go follow me and like and subscribe our YouTube channel to support all these amazing entrepreneurs and music talent like Kenny here.
Appreciate it.
Make sure you go to DIOTALK TV, like and subscribe. Follow me on Facebook, Dear Mark King Diaz. I'm out, guys. Have a good night.